and then go. That's it. Go, 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 go. But then only to 80. Don't go over 80. Have you ever wanted to drive a sexy, topless French car in and out of Switzerland, crossing international borders like it's 1391 freely? Hello, and welcome to the beginning of a new series. It's called Cheap Car Tours Time Trials. Now, before anyone asks, yes, the Megane is still with us. The handover is planned for later this year. Thankfully, I've been granted permission to use it in this new and highly scientific experiment. It's the perfect mix of flamboyance, style, and strictly legal velocities. I have a road. Well, it's not technically mine, but it's very close to where I live, and I like to think that I'm the king of it. So therefore, it's mine. It's the perfect blend of aesthetic scenery, rolling corners, and international confusion. It's a 35-kilometer loop that can't quite decide which country that it belongs to, ducking in and out of France and Switzerland just about as many times that I've eaten my kids' hidden sweets, which is a lot. I call it the lap to the lake. Starting in a small town in Switzerland, running all the way to a tiny French town called Lucelle, and then back again. Lucelle has one petrol station, one lake, and one retirement village. It's the perfect place to arrive at and then immediately leave again. The rules are simple. It's a time trial. The aim is to be the quickest there and back. But, and this is the most important part, you must obey the road rules. Any over-enthusiasm, as we shall call it, will be heavily time penalized. The times will be taken in this little beauty. An old character from a previous video, my 2001 Renault Megane Cabriolet. Something that's a little bit more suited to this stretch of road than the Volvo. If you would like to set a time in this and be on one of my videos, then please reach out. I am extending an invitation to all who would like to attack the time and then get their name on the leaderboard. Remember, always drive safe and legally. Always respect the speed limit and the road rules. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to get all the updates. And go. So max speed along here, speed limit along here is 80 kilometers an hour. I have to watch this satellite speedo. All right, now we're at 80. So you have to try and keep that as consistently as possible. Holding it on 80 is going to be so difficult. Oh, we're above now, we're above. All right, dropping it down. We've got to try and hit these corners as quickly as possible, really. That's the best. All right, coming out of the corner now. 75, 77, 78, 80, 81, 80. Hold it on 80. 78. Slowed right down there. So some corners you can really, going the speed limit, you don't have to pull off, or lift off, should I say. Whoa, sorry. A little bit too quickly there. Talk about tense. Trying to hold your foot right on that 80 k's an hour is very tricky. It's just about finding that perfect sweet spot that doesn't let it run too far off. Drop the speed right down there. Now we're sitting on 80. So that's the perfect. So obviously we're going to be coming into the town. Coming into a town now, and the speed's going to drop down to 50 and then to 30. It's really hard to keep it. It's like once you get to 78, if you've got too much pressure on the pedal, and then also all you want to do is power out. But if you power out of the corners too quickly, you jump right up to 80 very quick. All right, down to 60. All right, now we're on 60. You've got to hold it at 60 until we get out of this town. So holding it on 60. holding it on 60, 59, and then it's going to drop down to 50. So we really want to try and get to hold it on 50, hold it on 60 until we hit that sign. All right, now down to 49, 47. All right, keep it consistently at about, if we can keep it consistently at about 48, 49, then we should be able to keep a good, consistent average speed. Oh, 51, drop down. All right. Whoa. 53, there's some over enthusiasm. 48. 46. And then as we get to the end of the town, 49, 48. Don't be over enthusiastic. Keep it consistent. 49, 51. Slow it down. Trying to keep it below 50 just makes you realize, all right, now we're up to 60. Just makes you realize how easy it is to speed, because I feel like I'm going so slow now, but I guarantee that I'm not normally going that slow through there, and it's bad. It's something that you really need to watch, especially going through small towns when there's kids running on the road. All right, so we've got a speed limit of 60. I'm down at 55 now. Oh God, talk about tense. I'm getting very tense. I think I need to put this seat forward a bit. That's a bit better. All right, I'm slacking off with the time now, with the speed. 59. Right, now we are at 80. Right, let's push it up a bit. Around these corners. Don't cross the line. Not allowed to cross the line. 70. Right, coming down into this corner. Really got to hug. Oh, cyclist. Overtake only when it's legal. Now you got to pump right back up to 80, and then we got to make up a bit of time. Don't go too fast. 80, hold it there. Now to 79. Tense up again. Coming around these corners. 74, 75. Coming into a small strip where there is a farm, and we have to slow right down, hold it consistently until that sign, and then brake as hard as you can. Right, down to 50. 51. Keep that speed consistent as much as you can. 51. Come on. 48. Right, now we're into France. Open it up. 80 k's an hour again is the limit. 76. There's a little bit of dew on the road. 82, 84. Slow it down. 78. This is a really nice stretch of road here where you could very easily be tempted to open it right up, but we can't. We have to keep it below 80 k's. 79. 80, 81, slow down. 80, keep it consistently at 80. The key to this time trial is the corners. How well can you control it around those corners? Because there's no drop in speed limit when you come to the corners. So it's about holding that perfect line. See if you can hold it right on 80, slow it down a bit. 76. Try and keep it in your line. 79. 77. 68. 79, that's a good speed to keep. 77, 76, it's a bit too slow, got to keep it up. 78, how long can you keep it on that perfect average speed is the key. So now we're coming into a town that's 30, so we have to drop right off. And drop, oh, right, down to 30, we have to get right down to 30. It's very, very slow here. It's a very small town. And then we have to, as soon as we get to the end, as soon as you see that we're outside of the line of the town, it's still too fast. Get down to second and then go. That's it. Go, 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 go. But then only to 80. Don't go over 80. So there's a couple of tight bends coming up here now. Really have to hug those corners. How fast are we going? $80, good speed. So slowing it down again as coming into this small intersection. No, there's no speed limit. We have to stay on our speed. Keep the average up as much as we can. Tight bend, tight left. Oh, there's a person on the road. What is he doing? Get it up to 80 and then hold it there for as much as you can. Hold it on 80. Don't let it drop down. Intersection. 76. This is where it really starts to open up and the corners start to become a little bit faster. There's one more relatively, oh, that's 82. Keep that down. Tight bend, hold your breath. Strong neck. Around this one, strong neck. That's it. Got to be faster through there. Have to be faster. $77. We're holding a pretty good average speed, I think. We're just sort of towing the line of the average. That's a good corner through there. Got it. That's it. That's nice. 78. Too fast. Drop it down. Over enthusiasm. That's a penalty. 77, 78. Keep your eye constantly on that speed. Pushing it, towing the line. There's a nice open spot here, but it's just, you gotta rein it in. You can't let yourself get too ahead of yourself. If you go above that 80, you're going to be penalized. 77. Easy. Oof. Next, copping a real workout. 76. Fast corner coming up. 70. It's good. It's good. Very nice out of there. Not too fast. Down into fourth. Down into third. Sharpish corner. Nice little S. 76. We're holding a good speed. Very good speed. Over the bridge, back into Switzerland. Down into third. Wet corner, but it's good. Hold that line, that's it. There's a car ahead of us. Are we gonna get stuck? 74. We might have to overtake, but only when it's legal and only when it's possible. 77. 78, 80. No, we're gonna get stuck behind a car. 72. 75. We're right in behind him. 75. He's holding a pretty slow average here. It's not good for our time. It's not good for our time at all. See, if he keeps that 80 k's an hour up on the straights, then we're going to be okay. But it's the corners that are going to slow us right down, and we can only overtake when it's legal. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. This is a fast corner that we should be able to take fast, but he's just slowed right down. Not good. We're going to have to calculate that. We will be able to calculate it. We're going to get stuck. So he's sitting now 15 k's below the limit, which is going to hurt us slightly. We're going to have to make up a bit of time on the way back. It's the only way. It's the only way. So we have to go straight into the car park in Lucelle, turn around as quickly as possible, and then head straight back. And then hopefully we don't get stuck behind anyone. We are still sitting 10 kilometers below the speed limit, which is hurting our time. This guy's going too fast to be able to overtake. We should not be overtaking. If we are exceeding the speed limit, we should not be overtaking. Now we're getting a bit of time back. The guy in front is now starting to open it up a bit, which is helping us. So we're sitting on an 80, sitting right on 80 now, which is a good speed. We can really make up some average speed on this stretch, and then we're going to come into Lucelle. We're going to do a quick turnaround, basically a hairpin in the car park, and then we turn straight back around. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. We're going to get stuck behind that old car, I think. So coming into Lucelle, dropping down, speed limit is 50 here. Now we are going to turn around in this car park and then head straight back out. Here we go, turning in. We need to be the first out. That's a good result. Good result. Right. So have to get it up to that 80 and keep that consistent. 75, 80, too fast. Over enthusiasm, we call it. Whoa! This is where you really need to make sure that you don't overdo it, because we've got time to make up, but that does not excuse any speeding. Speed limit has to be respected. Over enthusiasm is penalized heavily. So we have to make sure that we keep it below that 80 kilometers an hour. This is a good average. Holding it good, holding it good. Right. These are the technical bits where we're going to have to make up some time. out of there good. Keeping watch on that speed, making sure that you don't over accelerate out, because then you have to hit the brakes. $80. Got to get that average speed up a bit more. $80. Here's a technical, very technical corner here. Keep it that 80. Got to keep that, these long sweeping corners. That's over enthusiasm. Just hit some over enthusiasm. Remember, you can cross the dotted lines. You cannot cross the solid lines. Crossing solid lines is illegal. We do not do that. Now we're coming up to the backside of that older car that we just drove past before. We're going to have to figure out a way how we're going to get past him legally. So maybe we have to make up a bit of time in these corners. We're back into Switzerland. Back into Switzerland. Staying on that 78, 79. Over enthusiasm detected. Now this is a tricky, tight corner. Hold that line. That's good. Now out. Not too fast. Now we are just about to come back into France. Back into France. Over that bridge. Hopefully this car can stay below. I think we're going to get stuck pretty well behind him. It smells very nice, but it's not good for our time. We need to get past him, and we need to get past him relatively quickly if we can. It's an old Jag. He's sitting at 60 k's an hour. We're going to make a dash for it. Are we? Yeah. Luckily we were able to get, we didn't actually do, there was no over enthusiasm on that overtake, which is good. It was actually perfect. So I think we now have a pretty straight run back with no cars that we saw that were going in the opposite direction, which is good news. So we can make up a little bit of time on those tighter corners and try to keep that average speed as consistent as possible with we've got our GPS speedometer. So looks like the guy in the Jag wants to actually race. Not interested, mate. Sticking at 80. He's right up my bum now. I think this guy's got a little bit of a death wish. Down into third. That's a nice corner there. Sticking on 80. Over enthusiasm. Now coming back towards Switzerland again. 79 k's an hour. Got to try and keep that average speed up as much as possible. Guy in the Jag is right up our bum. The corners are where we're actually going to make up all the time, because quicker we are in the corners. That's really well done through there. And make sure that we don't spend too much time above the speed limit. That's the problem. These tighter corners, again, will help us lift the average speed. Coming back into 30 zone now. And a little bit of over enthusiasm was detected, and down to 30. Jag's coming. 30 k's an hour is very slow. And now we're off again. So we're slowing it down, taking that, got to take these longer corners. Right, up to 80. Let's see how long we can hold it there. Can't slack off. Got to constantly keep your eye on that speedo. Now here's some technical turns coming up. See, the speed dropped off too much there. Got to keep it up. '78. Hold it on 80. Hold it there as long as we can. 79, 78, 77, 79, 76. These are the really important parts here. 79 is good. 78, coming back into Switzerland now. Now we have to drop down quickly to 50, and it's 50. 50 feels very slow once again. 45, got to keep the speed up to the speed limit. 50, 51, 50, and go. Back up to 80. Now this is an important part. There's a few technical corners here that need to be taken at relative speed, because these you will lose time at if you go too slow. '80, hold it there. No over enthusiasm. Very tight corners on the neck coming up. Down into third. Got to keep that speed up. And now coming back into Switzerland officially. There is the border. Now we've got to hold our speed. It's 60 here. So we've got to hold our 60 and then be prepared when it drops down to 50. Handling in this car is absolutely phenomenal. Front wheel drive, winter tires on, over enthusiasm detected. Now we've dropped off again. Have to make that up. What are you doing? What are you doing? Keep it at 60. Keep it at 60. it's hard. And there's a couple of different gradients. The car rolls differently. You think right now we're coming into 50. Here we are now at 50. So we're going to try and keep that consistently at 50. Hold that there, hold that there. Hold it at 50, hold it at 50. Hopefully we don't get stuck behind any extra cars. That's not what we want. We want to be able to keep that average speed up as much as possible, but legally now to 60. Oh. No over enthusiasm needed. So we're at 60, limit is 60. Have to try and get past this guy on the scooter at some point. So the limit is now going up to 80 as we get out of this town. We have to go. This guy is going 60 kilometers an hour. That's not good. We need him to lift his speed. This is not good at all. There are some sweeping corners that will be coming soon, but we cannot afford to be stuck behind this scooter. He's going 61 kilometers an hour. That is 19 kilometers below the limit. We need again, now we're stuck behind another car. This is not good. Ah, there's cars. No, no, no. Not good at all. Need this person to lift his game or let me pass. Blind corner. This guy's letting me pass. Hold that now. Gotta hold that 80. Consistently hold it on 80. It's nice and flat here, so you can hold the accelerator right on a point, sweet spot. We're coming up to the end now. Coming up to the end. Need to be quicker than this. Need to be quicker. 79. Hold it at 80. Hold it there, last section. This is the last, once we turn into this street here, once we go over those lines, we are done. It's finished. Here we go. What have we got? And done. We're done. Whew. That was tense. That was very tense. That was extremely tense. So we got stuck behind a couple of cars that probably didn't help us that much, or didn't help us at all really. But we are now over the line, and we're going to have to look at the time. Once I'm going to calculate that time, and then we'll be able to display it. So there we have it. That's our first time trial. That was very enjoyable, and hardly any time over the speed limit as well.